They announce on game day that Shedeur has a quote-unquote back injury, yet he did go out to warm up. They watched him warm up and they disqualified him because he's got a back injury. I don't trust it for 1 second. Bailey Zappi has I said it 5 times on the show, he's been the unofficial, unstated backup quarterback all along.
Hey, you're going to lose the locker room. It just take the right person to say something. A Denzel Ward, a Myles Garrett, your captains, you'd be like, listen, we need to do something. I mean, to see Myles Garrett frustrated like that, the way he was, understanding that offensively, we not getting it done, knowing the change needs to be made. I mean, but I think that's a hill that Kevin Stefanski is willing to die on.
The Cleveland Browns are neck deep in chaos again, and this time, it's all about Shedeur Sanders. In a shocking twist, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees has apparently blown the lid off Kevin Stefanski's lies about Shedeur's status. After that painful loss to the Patriots, Stefanski told reporters Shedeur was injured and couldn't play, but Rees just exposed that as a flat-out fabrication. Footage surfaced showing Rees calmly giving directions to Shedeur after the game, proving he was perfectly fine. That little detail completely destroys Stefanski's claim that Shedeur was hurt. Fans are losing it online, calling Stefanski's excuse embarrassing and accusing him of trying to bury Sanders on purpose. Rees hasn't said Stefanski's name out loud, but come on, his actions say everything. By stepping up and helping Shedeur behind the scenes, Rees basically told the world who's really pulling the strings. It's looking like Stefanski's been blocking Shedeur for reasons no one can quite figure out, and it's starting to backfire big time. The whole situation has people questioning Stefanski's leadership, his honesty, and whether he's even fit to run this locker room anymore. Tommy Rees isn't staying quiet anymore. He's made it clear that Shedeur Sanders' laser-accurate throws, the same ones that made him a star in college, should be front and center for the Browns' offense. Those crisp, dynamic passes, that's what wins games, not the weak short throws and busted deep shots Dillon Gabriel was tossing around against the Patriots. Rees knows talent when he sees it, but Kevin Stefanski, he's out here acting like Shedeur doesn't even exist. It's starting to look personal. Stefanski's straight up refusing to even consider Sanders for a serious role, like he's allergic to giving the man a fair chance. And even after getting exposed by his own offensive coordinator, Stefanski's still doubling down, insisting that Sanders was injured before the game. He swears Shedeur showed up to practice hurt and that he pulled him out during warm-ups for his own good. Please, nobody's buying that story anymore. Let's be real. There's a huge difference between protecting a player and flat-out benching him out of pride. What Stefanski's doing doesn't look like...
I'm hopeful that he'll continue to improve.
And if I can ask a super quick follow-up on that, why wouldn't you, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
If you're here, you're here.
Okay.
And coming up high. Good?
Here we go.
Eyes down the field.
Set.
Good, we're reading those seams.
Caution, it looks like control. It's a weak excuse that's falling apart fast, and every time he tries to defend himself, it just makes him look guiltier. Skip Bayless went straight for Kevin Stefanski's throat in his latest rant, and he didn't hold a single punch. He called out Stefanski for the bizarre decision to let Shedeur Sanders fully practice, warm up, and prep for the game, only to suddenly bench him at the last second, blaming some mysterious injury. Skip wasn't having it. He said flat out, this had nothing to do with health and everything to do with favoritism. According to Bayless, Stefanski's not protecting anyone, he's just playing favorites, giving Bailey Zappi the nod over Sanders for reasons that make zero sense. He even went as far as calling the whole story a complete lie, saying the Browns' claim that Sanders was the backup was pure smoke and mirrors, because in reality, Zappi was Stefanski's guy all along. That's a wild accusation, and it's got fans losing their minds online. And while Bayless is firing off on national TV, Tommy Rees is trying to keep the Browns from falling apart behind the scenes. He's not just exposing Stefanski, he's trying to stop a total locker room meltdown. Myles Garrett's words hit like a sledgehammer, and the fallout was instant. Reporters scrambled, social media exploded, and whispers started leaking from inside the Browns facility. Stefanski had completely lost the locker room. Players were allegedly divided, with some quietly backing Shedeur Sanders and others scared to even speak up. The tension was so thick, you could feel it through the cameras during practice footage. Sources close to the team say Stefanski tried to smooth things over in a closed-door meeting, but it went south fast. Several players reportedly rolled their eyes as he defended his decision to bench Sanders, repeating the same injury excuse that everyone already knew was bogus. One insider even said it felt like a man trying to convince himself more than the team. That's brutal. Meanwhile, Tommy Rees stayed calm, focused, but you can tell he's frustrated too. He's been quietly working with Sanders after hours, helping him refine his mechanics and stay mentally sharp in case his moment comes. It's like he knows something big is coming, and that Stefanski's grip on this team is slipping by the day. And here's where it gets even crazier. Garrett's not the only one done playing nice. Things took an even wilder turn when rumors started flying that Shedeur Sanders might actually...
What was the thinking behind that and how'd that go?
Yeah, he obviously came in Saturday with his back injury. We were hopeful that he'd be able to move around well enough to suit up on Sunday, but put him through a pregame warm-up, and obviously just didn't feel like he was...
want out if the situation doesn't change soon. Multiple insiders claim that his camp is growing frustrated with how Stefanski has handled everything, from the lies about his injury to the fake quarterback competition that everyone knows isn't real. One source close to Sanders said he's tired of being treated like a backup when he's clearly the future. That's a bold statement, and it's shaking the Browns' front office. Behind the scenes, Jimmy Haslam and the ownership group are reportedly fuming about all the bad press. They know the fan base has turned, and the locker room's split energy is becoming impossible to ignore. You can see it in body language, players walking off practice fields looking drained, coaches snapping during interviews, and Stefanski himself appearing more defensive with every passing day. It's like watching a slow-motion collapse on live TV. Meanwhile, Shedeur's been handling it all with calm confidence. No outbursts, no drama, just quiet focus. That composure is starting to make Stefanski look even worse because every time Shedeur speaks or shows up to practice, he's proving he's ready to lead. Fans are starting to chant his name during games, and social media is flooded with posts calling for him to start immediately. Just when it felt like the drama had peaked, boom! Another twist dropped that sent Browns fans into overdrive. Word got out that a few assistant coaches are quietly taking Tommy Reese's side, backing his belief that Shedeur Sanders deserves the job now, not next season. These aren't random staffers either. We're talking key offensive minds who have seen Shedeur dominate in practice and can't understand why he's still being benched. One of them was even overheard saying, "We're sitting on a star while pretending we're rebuilding." That's wild. It's becoming obvious this team's not just struggling on the field, it's breaking apart from the inside. Stefanski's losing trust faster than the Browns lose yardage on third down. Every meeting reportedly feels tense, with coaches arguing over play calls and players caught in the crossfire. Tommy Rees is staying professional, but everyone can see he's walking on eggshells, trying to help Sanders without setting off Stefanski again. Meanwhile, Shedeur's been all class, showing up, working hard, no complaints, no chaos, but his silence is loud. You can feel it. He's letting his game do the talking, and the team notices. Players are watching him like, yeah, that's our real leader right there. Even veteran voices in the locker room are whispering that Stefanski's days might be numbered if he doesn't wake up and give the kid a shot soon. For Myles Garrett, the message couldn't be clearer. He just wants to win. He's out there, leaving everything on the field, but the Browns' offense keeps tripping over itself, turning his hard work into wasted effort. Week after week,
I'm frustrated. I want to win. I don't care how much time is on the clock. They got their starters in. There's a chance we can win. I want to be a part of that. I don't care how dire the situation looks. I'm want to try to make something happen. So I hate coming out of those situations. I hate, that kind of inevitability and not being able to do anything about it, because I want to win and I'll do anything.
Been dominating defensively while the offense looks stuck in neutral, and it's finally pushing him to his breaking point. During the Patriots game, cameras caught Garrett on the sideline fuming, kicking equipment, pacing back and forth, shaking his head in disbelief. You could see it in his face. He's tired of watching the same mistakes pile up. When reporters asked about the loss, he didn't bother hiding his frustration. He said, "We've been talking about the same issues all week, and somehow it's only getting worse." That's a man done with excuses. He didn't drop names, but everyone knew exactly who he meant. Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel. That tension isn't just hanging in the air anymore, it's pouring out into the open. And what makes it worse? Even Tommy Rees is starting to feel that same pressure bubbling under the surface. He's doing everything he can to push Shedeur Sanders into the spotlight, but Stefanski keeps slamming the door shut. Myles Garrett didn't bite his tongue when it came to Dillon Gabriel. He said exactly what needed to be said. Garrett made it clear that being young doesn't earn you any free passes in the NFL. "Once you're on this field," he said, "age doesn't matter. It's about production. That's as real as it gets." Garrett's message was loud. If you're wearing that Browns uniform, you better deliver or get out of the way. He's tired of watching the offense struggle while the defense breaks its back every week. Garrett's energy, effort, and dominance mean nothing if the offense can't even move the chains. His words weren't out of anger. They came from pure frustration with seeing the same mistakes repeated again and again. And right now, Gabriel's play just isn't cutting it. Then Emmanuel Acho jumped in and took the conversation to another level. He pointed out that when a veteran star like Myles Garrett publicly calls for accountability, it's a massive red flag that the locker room's losing faith. Acho didn't hold back. He said the tension inside Cleveland is reaching a boiling point, while Stefanski keeps doubling down on the wrong guy. Even with the fans chanting for Shedeur Sanders and the entire city questioning his decisions, Stefanski refuses to budge, still clinging to Dylan Gabriel as his starter. By midweek, the tension inside the Browns facility hit a whole new level, and this time, even people close to ownership started taking notice. Reports began circulating that a closed-door meeting took place between Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, and a few senior staff members. The topic? Whether Dylan Gabriel should still be starting over Shedeur Sanders. Sources said the discussion got heated fast, with Reese refusing to back down from his stance that Sanders deserves a real shot. Apparently, Stefanski stood his ground, snapping that decisions are made based on the system, not social media noise. But that line didn't land well, especially after Reese reportedly fired back, saying the system's broken if it keeps losing games. That exchange sent shockwaves through the building, and word of the argument spread like wildfire. Players were whispering, coaches were choosing sides, and now even some members of the front office were quietly...
His best is what a backup does. This is what backups do.
They play about that?
They play for a few games, and then they get figured out, and there wasn't much to figure out with him, and he's been figured out here. So you can expect more of the same if he continues to go out there.
Questioning whether Stefanski's ego is costing the team wins. Meanwhile, Shedeur kept his cool, showing up early, staying late, and keeping that same unshakable calm that's got the locker room quietly rallying behind him. The team can feel it. His presence is magnetic, the kind that changes everything once given the chance. Kevin Stefanski's seat has never been hotter, and the criticism is getting louder by the day. Fans, analysts, and even people within the organization are finally saying what everyone's been thinking. Dylan Gabriel just isn't it. Once defenses adjust, his game falls apart. He panics under pressure, misses open reads, and looks completely out of sync with his receivers. At this point, it's clear he's a solid backup, but not the guy to lead a franchise like Cleveland. The crowd's fed up, and social media is in full revolt. Every post, every press conference, every highlight reel without Shedeur Sanders just fuels more outrage. The consensus is building. The Browns need to hand the keys to Shedeur and let him run this offense. The kid's got poise, precision, and leadership, everything the team's missing right now. The season's slipping away fast, and every game that Stefanski refuses to make the switch feels like another nail in the coffin. This isn't just a quarterback debate anymore. It's a franchise-defining moment. Stefanski's stubborn refusal to give Shedeur his shot is splitting the locker room, draining morale, and leaving fans wondering if he's more worried about saving face than saving the season. The Browns are officially at a crossroads, and one wrong move could send everything crashing down. It's not just the games that are falling apart, it's the atmosphere off the field too. The tension inside the Browns locker room is electric and not in a good way. Players are walking on edge, emotions are boiling, and even veterans like Myles Garrett have had enough. Garrett's openly questioning Kevin Stefanski's leadership, and whispers are spreading that more players are ready to speak up if things don't change soon. The locker room isn't divided anymore. It's erupting. And while Stefanski's stubbornness keeps pouring fuel on the fire, Tommy Rees is quietly becoming the glue holding this team together. His calm, steady approach is exactly what the Browns need right now. He's not out there shouting or pointing fingers. He's making strategic moves, mentoring Shedeur Sanders, and keeping the team focused when everything around them feels like chaos. Reese's support for Shedeur has turned him into a silent hero, the one person who still believes in the team's potential. But Stefanski's leadership cracks are getting too big to patch up. His refusal to adapt, to see the obvious solution sitting right in front of him. It's destroying what little unity the team has left. Players are frustrated, fans are furious, and even assistant coaches are starting to lose faith. If this storm doesn't calm down soon, it won't just be the quarterback job up for grabs. It could be Stefanski's head coaching seat too. At this point, the Browns have reached a breaking point. Something's got to give. Kevin Stefanski's running out of excuses, Dylan Gabriel's running out of chances, and the patience inside that locker room, it's completely gone. Fans are fed up, players are tired of the chaos, and the front office can't ignore the noise much longer. The team's unity is cracking, and every decision Stefanski makes just seems to dig the hole deeper. Meanwhile, Tommy Reese keeps rising as the quiet stabilizer, the one man keeping professionalism alive while everything burns around him. He's mentoring Shedeur Sanders, focusing on progress, not politics, and it's starting to show. Some insiders believe Reese could be the key to turning this entire mess around if he's finally given the power to do so. The real question is, will the Browns make the move before it's too late? Because right now, this team isn't just fighting for wins, they're fighting for identity, for leadership, and for a future that doesn't involve constant controversy. The next few weeks could define the Browns for years to come, and every decision from here on out will either rebuild the foundation or blow it up completely. So what do you think about this wild situation? Should Kevin Stefanski keep his job, or is it finally time to hand the reins to Shedeur Sanders and let the kid lead? Is Tommy Reese the right guy to fix this disaster, or do the Browns need a full-blown reset from top to bottom? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this with every Browns fan you know, and don't forget to subscribe because this story's only getting crazier from here. See you on the next one.